Hello viewers, welcome to my channel Science to Technology. In today's show, Future Friday, we're going to talk about who the heck is responsible for our world. Part 1. I have a feeling that is going to take a while. So let's dive deep into it. Now, reality is that our world is a mess right now, and everybody can feel it. Everybody can know. It's like even though we are not in a world war, World War One, World War Two, we are not in World War Three, but somehow everybody knows that there is a silent rot, and every country, let that be clear, almost 200 countries, and we are all spiraling downwards in all goddamn front. Meaning, economics are reaching a point where even the people who are in the top, they're like, yeah, if it keeps going, yeah, we're gonna be kaput. Environment, yeah, if it keeps going like this, we're gonna be kaput. Like, I remember it was a big deal to ever touch 40 degrees Celsius when I was a kid, and again, schools had to close down. Now my roof temperature is 51 degrees Celsius. So fundamentally, economics is reaching what we classify as cascade failure. And again, I do not mean in 10 years from now. Like, it's a big thing. Basically, in terms of hope, like where things are going, it's not looking good. And in terms of inflation, it's really not good. So that's there. And family unit, which again used to be one thing that entirety of human history never had to worry about, that thing is falling apart, which is ironic. That's the one thing that has survived everything. World War, no care. Famine, no care. Drought, nothing. Plagues, don't care. That is falling apart in 100 plus 50, and practically speaking, almost all the world. So realistically, and we built democracy as a better replacement for king stupidity. And we put checks and balances, which our intentions were great. It's like, let's have checks and balances and we can handle things. However, as of now, in most countries, it has failed. It does not matter whether it's an old country like USA, does not, in terms of democracy, does not matter whether it's a young country, some countries in Africa, does not matter it's a mid-range country like India. Outcome is almost all of us can feel that democracy is not working. And justice system right now, well, that's lol. That's just a sad joke. Heck, like in August only, I won a case that has been going against me for 4 years. I won the case. Now, hey Steve, what does that mean? That simply means I can go home free. And that was after paying bonkers amount of money in bail, after wasting 4 years of my time, and my opponent got nothing. They just went to higher court. I won the case. So fundamentally, and again, mine was very luxurious in contrast to how bad it becomes. So everybody is starting to feel, and again, Nepal is starting to experience that. It's like, just you have to understand that it's job of the old to create a path for the young. If they do not, young goes kaput. And he was like, okay, they're destroying it. It does not matter. There is nothing to destroy. If young feels hopeless, there is nothing that is worth. Like, a temple is not worth if there is no people to worship. If people comes first, younglings in people comes first. If younglings lose faith and they start to feel rotten, yeah, things go bad very quickly. So it's a mess. Let that be clear. It does not matter whether you look into Korea, does not matter whether you look in America, India, Pakistan, whatever have you. Outcome is bad. So what does history teach us? Now, history has one of the core advantage that it does give you almost all outcomes of human condition. Let that be very clear. While science is very good at telling you, why human mind works this way, or oh, this hormone is there, that is there. Because of the numbers of variable, it has odd infinitum variables, you can't predict it. It's like how science is like, yeah, it reaches a point where it's like, good luck trying to figure out 3 body problem. Imagine figuring out 30 trillion body problem. That's human brain. Now you're like, okay, we don't have that many neurons. How each interacts with each other creates that many possibilities. So you can't precisely say what human. Now, ironically, history can, because history has collected data of human condition. Human condition is same because our base code is same, meaning every human culture has inherent understanding of hunger. Every human culture has lust. Every human culture has anger, wrath, vengeance, sloth, greed, all of these things. These are what we call human conditions of reality. And if you want to understand how these things affect, study history. You will be shocked how much information about human psychology, not science, let that be clear, not science, but how human interact with something, and even how human interact with technology or how human interact with knowledge, that becomes very clear. So what are the certain data points? Well, first data point is, in times of great suffering, like when people are really broken, really hurt, they generally put worst people in power. Like, and again, let that be clear, at the time of doing that action, either by military coup, either by popular vote, or either by just displacement of the government, whatever have you, at that time it does not look bad. But always, you look at the history, it's like, oh, they thought this will be good. No, It was bad. And it's almost ironic how often this happened. It's not even like, oh, one time, no, 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 no. It's every time it's like Germany is like really bad. Like they say, like, hey, took a country that was initiate, they made the country initiate. There was no difference before Hitler, after Hitler. It was like World War One destruction, World War Two destruction. Nothing changed. So fundamentally, this happens way too often. Be it happens with Mussolini, be it happen with Mao, be it happen with whatever else. So outcome is same. And trusting leaders blindly, meaning not having checks and balances, this always leads to tragedy. This is the most guaranteed part. Who you elect put in power, that may work. Let that because that has a higher probability of it may work. But trusting leaders blindly, that always self-destructs. And again, this amplifies the first one. You never ever want to trust your leaders without what you call questioning, and without, like, there has to be some disc brakes. It's almost like, think in this way: humanity as a culture is a track, and if the track is going downhill, you have to apply brakes once you see there is going downhill. You do not, okay, let me now. If it goes down too much, it has too much momentum, you can't apply brakes at that point in time. So fundamentally, you have, the moment a train starts to go down, like basically for Russian people it would have been better the moment Putin started to tamper with the constitution. Is like, no, I'm gonna be the forever president. People should have applied break then now, but they did not. Penalty, they fought 8 years in Chechnya, now they are fighting 4 years in Ukraine, and at current rate they will be shift deleted very quickly. Not to mention their population rate was below replacement, as in below 2.1 after 1990. Basically, once Soviet Union dissolved, people lost faith. Nobody built faith back up. So constitutionally, brick by brick, day by day, and right now the amount of losses they have suffered in Ukraine, it's worthless. Like, you can win, which again, good luck with that. If you took 8 years in Chechnya, this puppy will take decades, and you will not have that kind of population left. Like, just, you will not. So fundamentally, but again, people, why did not people apply brakes when he was rewriting the constitution? That was the time you could have done that, but people did not. People ignored. And now the train is like full momentum. Now you can't apply brakes. So it always happens. Trusting a leader blindly always leads to this thing. It's guaranteed. Like the in pop culture, I would say Dune is a very good example of that. Like the novels and new series of movies also trying to show, it's like, if people start to trust the Messiah, the great leader, like Mussolini and all that, they will do anything that is needed, no matter how horrendous it is. So it always creates a scenario, and people trusting a leader blindly simply to avoid pain they are suffering right now always ends up in more pain than they started off. Basically, if their pain at the starting was 50-watt pain, they ended up in 700-watt pain afterwards. So these two things are like almost like a clockwork. You always generally put someone bad in a position of power at the time of crisis, and because you start to do blind trusting, it spirals downwards. Like, it's bad. Like, it's hilarious how many times humanity do the exact same mistake in hundreds of countries. And road to hell is paved by good intention. And you're like, okay, what does that mean? Does that mean we should not have good intention? No, that simply means control your moral superiority. Your morality is almost something like that has to be internal. It has to be. If it ever becomes external, you can justify whatever the heck you want to do. Like, whatever. That's why majority of religious war was fought, like, because they were thinking moral superiority. Never ever have this touch your civilization. If this puppy touches your civilization, war is just behind. Moral superiority is really, really bad. Like, really horrendously bad. So these things we have learned through history. Like, this is like, you do not need to do the same experiment again and again. This has been happened. And again, I'm talking about recent example. Now, core failure of humanity right now is, again, it could be the penalty of our social media and lack of accountability from news media. Black and white has happened, meaning humans are idiotically complex. And here's the funny thing, so are their belief. You can literally take two people from same religion and they will not match up. It will not, but they are the same religion. No, they will not. Heck, you can take few atheists, they all not all match up. Heck, one could be completely optimistic, one could be completely nihilist. Both could be atheist. So That's the reality of it. Human mind is bonkersly complex. And in those sort of complexity, our belief systems are complex. And again, it's shaped by the passage of time. And passage of time is directly affected by where your time was passing. Meaning, for example, I make X amount of money. If I'm in a, metropolitan city, let's just say Bangalore, me broke. If I'm in a middle class city with some luxuries that I have, like my parents' house and all that, it's decent. If I were in a village, I'll be rich. So same amount of money did not change. So same happens with human mind is same, but because of the environment, because of the passage of time, it's different. And you can only be pro at certain things. This part is very critical, meaning you will only know some things rather than a lot of things. That will always be true. The more you learn, the more you will know that how little you know. What does that mean? That simply means every person who gets into position of power, or you want to elect them, you have to understand that they do not know everything. Like, you have to actually acknowledge, like, I have no idea how the heck this idea came out, like the PM or CM or president or whatever have you, any type of minister, they should know. It's like, why? Do you know everything? No. Then why the heck you expect them to know? This part is very critical. And because of this idea of, everybody should know, like, as you are in position of power, you should know everything. It's like, that's not how it works. That's literally not how it works. And this creates a, stupidity that people are seeing. You have to agree or disagree 100%. For example, I can willingly, knowingly, flat out say how SpaceX built Falcon 9 was JJ. And in the same breath, I can willingly say that how the heck they are handling Starship project, it's completely cuckoo. Thou shall not make a starship with super duper hyper heavy things. Again, I get the idea you did not want to use carbon fiber, which was your own original design. Cool, awesome, it was too expensive. Cool. Go to lithium, aluminum alloy. Why you are trying stainless steel? So, but again, it's normal. It's normal. A company did a good thing, a company did a bad thing. Inventor could have done good thing, could have done bad thing. Normal. Go home. But this whole idea that people have right now is like, you either 100% or not. Like, either Trump has to be completely right about everything, or it has to be completely wrong about everything. Like, that's not how human works. Humans are complex. Like, Trump derangement syndrome, I think in recent time, is a very big example. Like, the most shocking part of it, I have a friend who's like very good financially literate, financially, he knows how to do investment and all that. And he tells me, it's like, oh, if you're seeing Nifty 50 going down, buy it as quickly as possible. Trump gets elected second time, market crashes, and instead of buying, he sells. It's like, oh, Trump is causing too much turmoil. I'm like, you taught me that you're supposed to buy at this time. And that's happened. It's like 100%. Everybody's like, the end of the world. It's like, that's not how it works. Like, does Trump know business? Of course. Does Trump know politics? Of course. And like, no, Trump is an idiot. No, that makes you a bigger idiot because you are not the president. Now, Trump knows war. He'll know. And I've been saying this for people. It's very shocking. It's like, oh, you like Trump. It's like, I like Trump as a politician. I like Trump as a businessman. You say Trump as a renewable energy understander. No, the boy is full cuckoo on that. And I understand why he is that way. Again, he's old. You have to understand what was going on at that time, which again, I know. So it's like, meh. And when he says like, I'm going to end war in Russia-Ukraine war in one day, I'm like, bruh, stop doing cocaine. Not good for you. So that's normal for me. That's normal for humanity. That was always the case. That is the case. That should be the case. But somehow people have forgotten that. Like, either he has to be completely genius or completely idiot. No. He can be perfectly fine with one thing and perfectly idiot with others. Again, same way I say, like how Elon Musk built the early spaces, GG, how he built brain damage of Hyperloop, stupid. And people are, no, both can be, no. One goes to the space, another just bankrupts billions of dollars. So, fundamentally. And what happens when you have this sort of idea, like, either 100% or 100% wrong? Well, it creates echo chamber. Like, the worst example of this echo chamber in recent time was basically Trump's debate with Joe Biden. Now, here's the deal. Give it to AI or give it to someone who does not know who these two people are, convert the language and all that. Literally, you'll find like Joe Biden was not speaking. But here's it, because of echo chamber, I'm not joking, there were so many videos. Joe Biden destroys Trump. I'm like, he did not say a complete sentence. And what does that lead to? That leads to lack of detachment from factual reality. He was not speaking in complete sentence. That was not happening. So you cannot have that. Like, you cannot be detached from reality. And that spirals outwards way too quickly. And I have no idea, like every Tom, Dick and Harry, oh, hey, hey, it's like not everybody is hey. If you don't like it, hey, oh, he's a fascist. It's like just because you do not like it does not make them fascist. Like you cannot use that word. That word have value. That word has blood shed into it. You can't just lol. And it's like everybody is like every leftist media that I'm saying is like we have to poof him, and then they actually tried it, which is ironic. They are from the right, which are like for pew pew, and left is the one no pew pew, and they are the one using it. I'm like, huh. And again, as I'm making this video, this individual has passed, and he's like a very what you call vanilla toast for my taste. Again, if you remove your spectacles from TDS, he looks vanilla. He's like, oh, he's a guy who goes and debates. And again, he's not very violent. He's not a very what you call cruel or very Andrew Tate. It's like very generic. Like if I remove the political context, it will like water is wet. That's how vanilla this guy is. And people are like, he is a fascist, he's this, he's that, he's that. Like, no, he's a dude talking. Because you have that 100%, oh, I have to 100% agree or I have to shift delete him, which again, they did unfortunately or fortunately, depending how time will tell. That's a very bad scenario because again, the moment you end up with zero tolerance, everybody goes boom boom on each other's ass. It is not good. It is not healthy. And again, same goes with immigration system. It's like, again, I want a lot of Indians to have the ability to go abroad to do for better life and all that. I do not want them to lose this ability. But again, that inherently means I have to accept that Indian politicians and Indian government has to be like, no, no, no. If you have a criminal record, if you're like, if you can't speak English, do not go to English speaking country. I want that. Because again, not only for my sake, but also for the Indians that are there. Because if that does not happen, bad things will happen. And we have whole history teaching us bad things does happen. So again, black and white, no. There was never a scenario where the world was black and white. There will never be a scenario the world is black and white. You have to accept it. Whereas like, for me, it's like, I have no idea why people are like so shocked when I say that. It's like, yeah, Trump is idiot. Oh, but you like Trump. It's like, yeah, on this. It's like, oh, like, you're supposed to pick and choose. Yeah, humans are complex. I can say like Einstein. No, not Newton. GG guy, super mathematician, no discussion about it, super awesome. But he forced 7 colors on rainbow. There is no reason for 7 colors. Your eye have 3 senses. That means there has to be multiple of 3. Either 3, 6, 9. Cannot be 7. But there is a reason we have 7. Why? Because he named it. So he got the right. He put 7. That was stupid. Genuinely stupid. But again, it's like, okay, cool. You did so many awesome things. You put 7 number there. Meh. So that's normal. That's normal. Like for example, Nikola Tesla, GG guy, figured out a lot of awesome things. He thought he can transmit energy wirelessly. No. Why not? Well, that time he most likely has no idea or even awareness that we have, in few years later, we're going to figure out what we call inverse square law. So things take time. So that's why black and white, it's normal. It's okay. Like you like these things, you disagree with these things. Okay, GG, cool. Now this part, this destroys people, specifically women. And again, I'm seeing too many men falling into this. That's why I'm focusing on this. Abdication of responsibility. And God, it was hard to find this spelling. So here's the deal. World is truly complex. Let that be very clear. It is truly complex. And we are making decisions the whole goddamn way. Basically, you're driving a car and you're like, how the heck I learn how to drive the car? No, you have to drive. It's like, how do I learn? No, driving is learning. It's like, that's dangerous. Yeah, it is. Meaning, if you make a bad decision, like I did 4 years ago, it will have lifelong consequences, big or small. Like for example, Anupam Vipul that got a job. He was very excited. He was like, GG, I studied game art. I got a job as a 3D game artist. I'm happy. I'm making money. First time in my life. I'm in Bangalore, good city. People are nice. Everything is awesome. And then I fried my spine. Why? Because I never paid attention to my spine. I really hate that Anupam Vipul. And now I have to deal with that spinal issue for my life. Even though I had treatment, it's much better now. But such is life. Many of you may not even be as lucky as I am, where it's like, oh, you put it yourself and like you did not take care of it early enough. Like I made a decision, consequences lifelong. And I made that decision, I would say what, in my 20s, and I'm dealing that for that as long as I live. And again, 4 years ago, I made an even badder decision, which shift deleted my whole life. Like I'm not even joking, like kaputted me so badly. If you had watching the channel that long ago, I was off for 1 month. I was like, nah, I can't work. My brain kaputted itself. So that is a very serious reality. All of you will reach a point where you will make a decision, and at that time you could do everything in your power to make a good decision. But if life is like, nah, I'm gonna bitch slap this guy, he's gonna bitch slap you. So fundamentally in that despair, we start to blame others. And again, I also did that when 4 years ago, when like my life went kaput. I was like this and that family and this and all that. And again, it is painful. I understand pain of court case. Now my court case was luxurious. That's how bad other court cases are, and I never ever wish anyone has to go like that. But such is life. Heck, many of my relative who actually know is going through even worst version of what I went through. So such is life. In that scenario, it's much easier to blame, oh, it's this guy is the 1%er or is this. It's like, no, it's never them. Never, ever, ever them. It's always you. And giving blame gives you temporary, what you call relaxation, temporary ease from your pain, but it does not solve it. And here's the penalty. Because of that temporary pleasure, or not even pleasure, lack of pain, you start to do it. And that creates a scenario, what we call spiraling downwards. Basically, crash out. That's a modern term nowadays. It's like people starting to go completely go. And you will think like, dude, you are an adult. Why are you crashing out? Advocation of responsibility. The more you give up your responsibility, the more it's like, oh, is that or is them. It's like there was like a guy who does financial audits on people, and the girls were like going completely cuckoo. It's like, I have this van, and it's like, and he's like, you have this many debt. Why you have a van? Like, and she was not taking responsibility. It's like, credit score is BS. It's like, you have to take score. Like, and again, reality was she was effed. Like, practically she was effed, like financially speaking. And again, she was spiraling downwards. You can see that, but because she was not taking responsibility, there was not even a probability that she could recover. So you have to take responsibility. Otherwise, like, you're gonna have crash out. Like, why the heck this woman was like going full cuckoo when Trump won the first time? It's like, how dare you? It's like, no, how dare me? It's never how dare you. It's always how dare me. It's like, for example, if you're like, oh, Jeff Bezos is so rich because you always choose Amazon. Like, even in India, we have so many other e-retailers where you can just give money and they will give you power. But you're like, okay, but I want like speed and all that. But then why do you complain about Jeff Bezos? You keep funneling money to him and then you're complaining. It's like, bro, that's not how it works. I do my best, where it's like I'm ordering things from random sites and all that. And I do my best to even share it on my sites, where it's like, hey, you can, if you want electronics, do this site and that site. That's how, like, you take power in it. And you're like, okay, but that has very small impact. Everybody did that. That will have massive impact. Like, for example, in India, like right now, there are a lot of women slaughtering their husband, and a lot of women getting slaughtered by husband. And I'm like, who's responsible? The person who got married. It's as simple as that. For example, if you trusted a woman, you got married, and she poofed your children after like few years after she got, basically after the honeymoon phase ends, and she poofed the children. Yeah, it's very common in India, like throwing in the water, throwing them in river, throwing them out of roof, putting them in refrigerator. Like, we don't have microwave case. That I think is only reserved in America, and I hope no child ever has to go away because of a microwave. But that's normal. But who is responsible at that point? The guy. Why he's responsible? Because he did not watch news. He never went to family court. He never read the constitution before. It was his fault. Only then, when he accepts it, then he can work. And then people are like, oh, red flag or blue flag. No, there is no flag. People change. If you give someone incentive, bad enough, and people who are desperate enough or unable to handle the pain, that's why the temporary pleasure, it shift deletes the whole family unit. So advocation of responsibility will harm you. Like, these children who are like, took a loan and without understanding how expensive that loan would be, because they never did the calculation, figuring out the everything, like how much I have to pay at the end. They are suffering, and they have to take responsibility. I did not sign a document without reading. I did not consult like a CA, chartered accountant, is like, hey, how much money do I have to pay back? How long it will take given how much salary I'm gonna make and all that. They did not do that, and they are suffering. But again, if they start to go blame someone else, bad things will happen to them, because again, they will lose control. They will lose recovery rate, and penalty would be spiral downwards, meaning you think this is bad, the future would be even worse. So advocation of responsibility is never a good idea. It's always your fault. It has to be your fault. Like, even if somebody else is doing it, like if flooding happens, like, you have to be like, okay, flooding was not your fault, but what you could have done. Or like, could you had built a barricade? Could you had waterproofed your electronics? What could have you done? And like, no, it's nothing. No, you never go that point. You keep fighting until you're dead. And again, that's how people succeed. Like, anyone who is successful always had went through that hell. It's like, no, it's mine. What did I do? You have to. Like, I also had to accept 4 years ago, where it's like, not 4 years, like that's how my journey started. Where it's like, no, I have to acknowledge it. It's like, yeah, it was my fault. I did not read the contract, so to say. Now, what can we expect in terms of wisdom? Thankfully, it's not that hard. Like, you just have to accept color. If you go black and white, you will burn the whole world. You have to accept color, like have to. And another aspect is, it's great. The fact that people are not black and white, it's great. Isn't that awesome? Like, you have multiple perspective and you can accept it. Like, having multiple music singers have different song genre and all that. It's awesome. And like, respectful disagreement is the best key to having low blood pressure. Now, again, that keeps everything in check. That allows you to focus your energy where it needs to be there, not just like, it's very necessary. And again, you have to just walk away. It's like, hey, I agree with 51% of what he says. GG. You do not have to like, I have to agree 100% or 100%. No. 51% is good. For friend, close friend even. It's like, if it's like 30% agree, it's like, I don't think the close friendship will work. But okay, that's my cutoff, 51%. So that's there. And again, responsibility is a harsh mistress. Let that be very clear. It's not going to be easy, but if you want to be powerful, you have to tame that. Responsibility is that. And again, you have to make every decision right, or you're going to suffer. Now, yes, suffering is not the problem. As long as you can learn the lesson, next suffering would be like, and you're like, whoa, what happened? It's like, yeah, I got this. That's why you have to bear responsibility. The more you go for cheap, easy relief, the more you're going to suffer. So fundamentally, it's there. Take the responsibility even if it feels like you have no control over it. That's the most critical aspect of it. Like, I really like this Voltaire's quote is like, I disapprove of what you say, but I will defend to the death your right to say it. I disagree with what he says or she says. I'm like, okay, but I will fight for it. And this is my personal favorite. This is what is like I'm trying to utilize in my life. And again, I'm a bit late. I should have been figuring this out by 25 years old, not 35. I'm reaching 35. But that's the life. Like, don't wish it was easier, wish you were better. It's like, and I have noticed it. Like, the Anupam Vipul, that was like when this whole thing started, I was pooping myself. I'm not going to joke. Like, I was almost ready to shift delete myself. To now, it's like, even though the case has elevated to the high court, I'm like, meh, I'll deal with it when it has to be done. So remember this. When you blame others, you give your power away. It's almost like women are smarter than men and women are oppressed by men. It's like, are you actually telling that you are oppressed by a hairless monkey? So that's the point. Never ever blame. And when you take responsibility, you take back your power. And you can do amazing things with that. And if you ever get overwhelmed, this poem will help you a lot. Grant me the serenity to accept things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and wisdom to know the difference. It will help you. So let that be very clear. There are a lot of things you can learn. Even if, like the art director who I did not like, I learned something useful from him also. So such is life. And again, you can do so much better. As long as you accept these sort of philosophy, it will start to relieve you of the frustration. Little bit. But again, every little bit helps. So this was my presentation, and it's like, who the hell is responsible? Unfortunately, we are. So I hope you have liked it, learned from it. In that case, please hit the like button, share it amongst a friend. That will help me a lot. If you didn't like it, didn't enjoy it, I urge you to press dislike, press it twice to show my disappointment. Please leave a comment because I do try to reply to all of them. Subscribe, press the bell icon if you're free. And as always, thanks for watching.